Hi, I'm Rashonda. I'm the creator of ArtByRow.com, where you can find over 200 art and drawing tutorials and everything art related. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to head on over to the art studio and do some drawings. I hope you'll grab a pencil and some paper and draw along with us today. I know you'll have fun. Let's head on over to the studio. Welcome to the Art by Row studio. We're going to get started on drawing some candy canes. These are really easy if you're a beginner, if you're trying to learn how to draw and you want to make some easy, fun, cute little drawings. These candy canes will do the trick. So today I'm using an artist trading card. I love doing my drawings on artist trading cards. I enjoy trading them for other people's artwork, and they save a lot of time because they're smaller than working on full pieces of paper, which allows me to get more artwork done, which means I get to do more trades and I get to receive more pieces of happy mail, and life is good. So today I'm going to be using colored pencils. I have my drawing pencil, my eraser that I like using for my drawings. I have my bigger eraser for cleaning up after I get my drawing done and get my outlining done. I have my outlining pen. I got out a black marker just in case I feel like making the outside outline a little bit thicker. And I'm using colored pencils today, so I have a pink colored pencil, I have a red, and I have my white for my highlight. So we want it to look a little bit three-dimensional. We want it to look like it's curving, so there's a few things we need to do so that we can make our drawing look a little bit more 3D. So basically, for the shape of your candy cane, and you can draw it on an angle if you want, but it's basically just a bubble letter J. So I'm going to draw it that way because that's something that my brain is more used to drawing. So it'll make it feel a little bit easier. So just flip your paper upside down and just make the same way you would make a bubble letter J. I want to bring this up a little bit higher. Now I like making my candy canes a little bit wider. In real life, candy canes are much longer, they're much thinner. But the way I want mine to look, the look that I'm going for, I want it to be shorter and a little bit wider. That's just the style that I'm going for. And you can do yours however you want. And then this eraser comes in really handy for getting into smaller spots. It's a little bit better than a big thick eraser. So you just want to keep working on the shape until you get something that you feel like you're happy with. Like I said, I like mine to be a little bit shorter and a little bit fatter. But if that's not the look that you want, draw it however you think is going to look right. I can take this out of here if I want to get it out of the way so it's not causing a distraction if I want, or you can leave it if it doesn't bother you. It doesn't really matter. You can clean up your drawing as you go, or you can wait until like after you get your outlining done if you want to outline your drawing. I usually add outlines to all of my drawing just because that's the style that I like. That's part of my preference, so just do whatever looks right for you. So if we flip that upside down, it'll help us get that shape of the candy cane that we're after. And I might bring this down a little bit further since I have room. Just keep working on it until it's something that you like the way it looks. Or until you get tired of working on it and you feel like it's good enough, it'll do. So the next thing I want to do is to add some contour lines to give it the 3D, to help make it look 3D. And we do this by making our lines curved. And when I work, I usually do the easier parts first. So if this curve poses a bit of a challenge, then I'll just wait and I'll do that last. And keep in mind, everything doesn't have to be perfect. You want to make sure these lines are curved. And these are going to be those different colored bands that go around the candy canes. So I have my drawing all done. I'm satisfied with how that looks. So the next thing that I want to do is to get my outlining pen, and I just have a Sharpie pen for this. You can use whatever you like, or if you prefer to not add an outline, that's okay too. You should always do whatever seems right to you for your drawings. If you're watching a video and you don't like how something looks, or it doesn't fit your personal style, then do whatever it is that's going to make you feel like you're following you with your style and you're going to get the outcome that you'll be happy with. I'm just showing you one way of doing something in the hopes of inspiring you to do your own drawings and to give it a try. And then you should be doing whatever feels right and looks right to you. So now I'm going to go in and use this bigger eraser and clean up all the little pencil lines that I don't need anymore. And then I am also going to add a heavier outline using this black marker around the edge. And again, that is because that's the look that I like for my drawings. I like to outline everything with black, but there's a lot of other options. You could use other colors. You could skip the outline altogether. I work with markers quite a bit, so part of this is probably just habit. So even though I'm going to be using colored pencils today, I'm still adding the black outline just because that's the look that I like. That's what looks right to me. You could do your outline with colored pencil. You could do it with the reds and pinks. Totally up to you. So that's it for the outline, and we are ready to add some color. So I have my colored pencils. I have pink and red. I'm going to start with these bands of color. And the way you want to do your color is that you want it to be darker along the edge and then lighter in the middle. If you're using colored pencils, as you go over top of the layers, it'll darken up. You don't have to get it all in one layer. And then I can go back and I can add this pink. So what I want is red, and I want it darker at the edges, and I can go back and even darken this up more. I want it to be red, then I want it to transition into pink. And then I want this very center to be white. And I can leave that white, and I can go back in and I can add some white over top of it. So then I want to skip one, and then I want to do this same color over here. Now another thing you can do is add your layer of pink down first and just skip this very center, because we want this down the center to all be white to show a reflection to help it look like it's curved. So you can do pink and just leave the center white, and then take your red and go back over it and darken it up. Add your darkest spots down at the bottom. You can go back in with the pink again and kind of blend that in. The only problem with that is if you tend to be heavy-handed with your colored pencils, if you put too much pressure down, it's hard to get the colors to blend together. So sometimes putting that layer of pink down can make it a little bit harder to get the red in there the way you want it. So it just kind of depends on how you work with the colored pencils and what works best for you. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's whatever your personal preference is. And especially if you're watching this video, then chances are you're a hobby artist, or you're somebody who's just starting out at the beginning stages of learning how to draw. And your goal is going to be to have fun and enjoy it. So you should be doing whatever allows you that freedom to really enjoy your creative time and avoid anything that's going to cause you too much stress. Because especially if you're a hobby artist, so I consider myself a hobby artist because I don't do paintings in galleries. I don't try to sell my art. I don't participate in shows. I don't really have any interest in doing that. Between working a full-time job and taking care of a house and a yard and kids and being there for my family and my loved ones, I use my artwork as a way to just kind of escape a little bit, get away, relax, unwind. And all it means is being a hobby artist just means that you're not selling your work. You're doing it for your own personal enjoyment. And I like doing artist trading cards. I like giving some of my artwork away. Sometimes I'll give stuff to friends or family. I enjoy doing that type of stuff. But as far as like trying to sell my art, being in a gallery or anything like that, doing art shows, it's just nothing I've really had much of an interest in. I don't know if it's because I feel like it would be too time consuming, or if it just puts too much pressure. But so if you're a hobby artist, make sure you're doing the things that allow you to really enjoy your creative time and have fun with it. So now I'm just going to go in where these are white. I don't want to leave them just white. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pink and then leave it white down the center, just to break up these chunks of white area. I don't want to leave those solid chunks of white. You can, or you could go in there with like a black or a lighter gray and add some shadows in here to help add a little depth to it. Again, that's up to you. Do whatever feels right. Make sure you're doing things that feel good and relaxing to you. So I'm just going to go in here, add a little bit of pink. And that's really all there is to making these candy canes. The thing that I like about these or this type of drawing, not even necessarily just the candy canes, but anything that's a simpler type of drawing, it really leaves a lot of good opportunity to experiment and try some different things, different colors. I mean, back when I was a kid, the only thing I remember is just the plain red and white candy canes, and now they have every color out there and different flavors and everything else. So you can experiment with some different color combinations. So there's the candy cane. The candy cane's done as far as I'm concerned, as far as the coloring goes. Like I said, you could go in and add black around these edges to help create a little bit more depth. I'm okay with the way this looks. I think it has good depth. But what I do want to do is add some color around the outside edge. And I really like this blue for doing that. I add this to a lot of my drawings, especially my artist trading cards. I'll just put what I call a halo around the outside edge. And I'm just following the shape. You can make this as thin or as thick as you want. Sometimes I use the other end of the marker that's wider. There's a lot of different things you could do for the background. You could make it look like it's hanging off of a Christmas tree. You could add some branches in there. You could put some little Christmas lights, or like maybe a bulb coming in, or some kind of an ornament from the tree. There's a lot of different options. Because these are so quick and easy to make, you could make some and just experiment with different backgrounds. Maybe that's your goal, is just to try out some different backgrounds, and you just want a focal point, some kind of image is your focal point. Maybe you want to just experiment with some different backgrounds. And if that's the case, then these are really nice because they're quick, they're easy. You can play around with some different colors, and then you can experiment with some different background ideas. It just gives you a lot of opportunity for what you want to do in addition to just making them. So I'm going to move that out of the way so you can see what that looks like. Clean up my eraser messes. So that one's finished. And what I do sometimes, let me try to find these. So what I've done in the past was created a little template, because maybe I don't want to keep drawing that over and over again. Once I draw it out once, it's kind of pretty straightforward. There's not much to it. So I might make a template, and then I can just trace it out real quick. And I only have to draw it once, but I can do a lot of different cards. So I played around with some toned paper, and these are all on artist trading cards. But I played around a little bit with some toned paper, and then just adding like some little, what if I did that? And I did that with color pencil. And then I did one with marker. And the same thing, I did 2 different reds and kept it kind of light in the middle, and then I just did this kind of blue-gray color to add the shadow to help make it look 3-dimensional. This one, I played around with, well, what would it look like if I did an optical illusion on it and made it look like it was kind of coming out of the paper a little bit. So that one was fun. And then I played around with a few on black paper. And I believe this one was just black paper with, I think this might have been black paper with metallic colored pencils that are supposed to show up better on black paper. And then I tried one with just regular colored pencils on black paper to see if those show up any differently than the ones that are made for the black paper. And I don't really feel like the ones that are made for the black paper are really that much brighter. I think they kind of look about the same, but it was fun to experiment with. And then I tried one with some paints that are made for black paper. And I bought them. I seen something on, I think, Instagram or whatever, and they said they had used these special paints and I wanted to try them out. So it just gave me a quick subject matter to experiment with. And this is black watercolor paper, and I just cut it down into an artist trading card. And then just to play around with those watercolors that are meant for the black paper. So this was something really quick and easy, just for my first time of working with those paints. I had never used them before. I didn't know how they would actually work. So as you can see, there's a lot of different variations you can do. This is quick and easy. It's a lot of fun. It's great for beginners. And if you like trading artist trading cards, they make really nice artist trading cards. A ton of variation you can get with them. So I hope you want to try your own. And that's it for today. Happy creating. Well, how'd you do? Did you make some of your own artwork? I hope you did. I hope you felt encouraged and motivated to start some of your own work. And I hope you feel inspired to keep working on your art. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and make sure you subscribe so you can see more videos from us when they get posted. I'll talk to you soon. Happy creating!